Welcome back to the channel. This is the Casuals. I'm Jin,
And I'm Saki.
and today's episode is Meal for Two. And today's episode is gonna be less substantial than like the previous ones that we've had before for Meal for Two. Super casual. And so this one's gonna be about Boba. It's nothing too interesting, really. It's just when you got back from your trip. We decided that, like, hey, let's go get Boba, right? Because I saw some weird Boba combinations, and I think it was like the Red Bull.
Yeah, you were telling me some place was combining Boba with Red Bull.
And you were like, hold up, that sounds weird but interesting.
'Cause I do
Uh,
like me a Red Bull, but I don't know about Red Bull and Boba.
yeah, so we were just like, let's just check it out. So we ended up checking it out, right? Um, and it just happened. So the place we went to was called Sunright Tea Studio, and during the time we went, they were having a collaboration with a game called Honkai Star Rail. And the reason why we went to this specific one is because not alongside with that, weird boba I saw. It's just that I happened to go there and see that, for the game collab, and see that they were selling these weird ones like Yakult, like the yogurt drink, that Asian yogurt drink. Like boba drink, and then they had the Red Bull, and I was just like, wow, it sounds like, Saki might, like this kind of, like, not like, but like he'd be interested in trying it out. So anyways, fast forward, we come back, we come for the drinks, right? Totally empty during this time, or not empty, actually there was quite a few people, surprisingly. And we go and order, and do you remember what you ordered?
I think it was something called like an Oreo creme brulee milk tea something or other with Boba.
Yeah. And I ordered just a creme brulee boba, sugar creme brulee boba, or something like that. Brown sugar creme brulee boba, I think it was, or it might have just been sugar creme brulee boba. And so we ordered it and everything, and waited. You went to go to the restroom, right? And I was waiting for our order, and then he called out Saki because he's the one that made the order. I come, and then the person puts 3 drinks in front of us. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. There's one extra drink that doesn't match here, right? Turns out, dude, apparently they just made a mistake, because I specifically ordered mine with no ice. I actually don't like ice in my drinks because usually they're cold enough anyways, and I don't like it because I tend to drink boba more slowly. I don't like it when the ice melts and makes the drink watery, which is why I typically avoid getting ice in my boba. Whenever I get it, I don't get boba frequently. It's like very rare for me to even get boba. But because of that, I guess, they made an order with ice, and they were just like, well, we made one extra order because we accidentally put ice in one. Do you just want it? And so I was just like, sure, I guess. And so we had an extra. Well, technically it was my extra drink because it was under my specific drink type, which was the creme brulee. But I knew I was gonna die if I drink that second boba. It's a sugar overload. Don't get me wrong, it's good. Boba's good, but it's a sugar overload. I'm gonna die if I eat too much sugar. And so you were like, hey, I can take this because, I can just give it to my girlfriend. And I was just like, great, we got an extra boba that you typically cost like $6 for free, and you can please your girlfriend at the same time. And you ended up telling me later something funny happened.
Yeah, so my girlfriend was out. I forget what she was doing. I think she was probably with a friend or something. Oh yeah, no, yeah, she was with her friend. So she was out, and I was like, okay. I drink mine. I'm like, oh, I'll just save this for her for when she comes back. She likes, it's called Sunright, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she likes that place. I'm like, okay, I'll just save it for her. So she gets back from hanging out with her friend. She's like, oh, I had a boba. Here's the rest. Do you want it? I'm like, oh, okay, sure. So I drank the rest of hers, and I was like, so yeah, I got you a boba. Oh, no, you can have it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I had like 2.5 bobas that day.
And you were like, I was kind of wired.
Yeah, after the first one, because mine was more sugary than yours, because it had that Oreo like mixture in it too.
Yeah.
Although I do want to say, when you call it a creme brulee, I kind of expected something to be bruleed.
There was
It
no
was
brulee.
It was just the cream. It wasn't. There was no like sugar that was blowtorched to like caramelized. It was just Oreo and the cream part of the creme brulee.
I assume they just don't trust their workers in general to have a blowtorch, you know? That
Well,
might burn
don't
down
call
the
it,
kitchen.
I would say don't call it a creme brulee because I thought it was gonna get bruleed
Yeah.
top of it.
um,
And
Still good drinks though. Regardless, or like, despite the it not being a brulee. And I think I got mine with 75% sugar, right? I think I did. Yeah.
yeah, yours was 75. Mine was just 100%. I just went all in.
Yeah. You.
Yeah, I remember I joked I'm like, dude, they have a 200% option. I almost clicked it and I was like, nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess nice things about that place, Sunrise specifically. This is a chain that really only specifically exists within the West Coast. There's like a few other stores, like I think like 4 stores out of California. Other than that, you're not gonna see it anywhere else. So this is very limited to people who live within the California area.
Also, luckily, it happened to be right near us.
Yeah, it happened to me right near us, so yeah. Um, Nice things about Sunrise Tea Studio. Drinks are pretty like more unique, I would say, than the other typical boba places you would have. I would say their main attractions are like the milk teas and like other like specialty drinks, more than like the typical fruit boba. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more milk tea or anything basically non-basic you would find at most boba places.
Yeah, and they also give you like right away, or like you're able, like with the pad they give you for the electronic ordering, you're able to choose your sugar levels. I think that's a really nice option. It goes from like 100 to like, it goes by increments of 25.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit more control than not like I know typically other boba places, at least from what I remember, is like they only give you like 50% or 0. They don't typically give you 75% or 25%. So that's a nice thing, and the workers are pretty chill, at least in our location.
Yeah, although one weird, I guess it's not that big of a deal, but their music blasting is so loud you can barely hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I remember they were trying to tell us something, and I just nodded my head, hoping it wasn't a question because I couldn't hear them.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, Sunrise Tea Studios, I think definitely go there for like their milk tea stuff. And maybe like the oddity. We've never tried the Red Bull. I don't know if we ever will. Maybe. It's just really odd and out there.
If I'm feeling it, I might try it next time.
Yeah. We might have a plan to go back there one more time. Typically we don't really eat out much in the first place, nor do we like have a regular store that we go to, just because it's just the way we are. Things are expensive. Money.
Yeah, if it's not free 99, it's kind of hard to spend on it.
Yeah. And so maybe we'll go back there and whatnot. And so that's it or okay, I guess another thing is, what do you think makes good boba?
To me, I don't even care for the actual boba, the chewy, like tapioca pearls. That's technically the boba part.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I like when the drinks are made with like real fruit and not like the powdered stuff,
Yeah.
like the instant mix.
Yeah.
I've had some where like I like taro, so I
Mhm.
like taro milk tea and stuff. So I think it was Cha2O had this real taro root like smoothie drink, and it was good because it was real taro. There's chunks of actual taro.
Mm-hmm.
Then I used to work at a Thai restaurant, and we offered Thai milk, or not Thai. Well, yeah, it's Thai, but taro milk tea. But it was the instant powder mix, and it just tastes different. It's not like bad, but I think the real thing just, of course, always beats the artificial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, for my drinks, I like the real stuff.
I think for
That's what I
me.
look-
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's just like the main thing I look for.
I think for me, what makes the biggest difference, especially when you're not getting those milk teas, whatever, like the we got in the Sunrise Tea Studio, but like a lot of regular boba, well, quote unquote regular, like a lot of boba places that offer like the fruit mixes, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Slushies typically, um,
yeah.
they're closer to slushies. They call them boba anyways, but like they're closer to slushies. The one thing I really dislike is the amount of ice, like the fine shaved ice they use in order to make that drink. So it just ends up tasting more like closer to water because of the amount of ice they use, and I don't like that.
I think that's just a California thing. We have a weird thing with ice, where if you
Yeah,
want an ice water, your cup is filled to the top with ice, and you have like literally maybe an ounce of actual water.
yeah.
I don't know
Um,
why. That's just like a California thing.
and so I don't. That's why I typically get apprehensive. That's why you. That's why. That's another reason why I don't get ice in my drinks at all. Is because they already put ice, like those shaved ice, like when they're blending it in the boba drink itself. So it's like
It's
you're just
double ice.
yeah, you're just doubling your ice. So that's just my experience. So this isn't like indicative of any like all these regular boba shops out there. Each boba place does it different. But for me, that's just my experience in general. So going to Sunrise Tea Studio, they're having the drinks that are like not so slushy and more milk tea and like that kind of stuff. It feels a lot better of a change of pace compared to like the typical fruit, like passion fruit boba or like mango boba.
Yeah, I agree. Because sometimes it's an overload of ice, and you finish the drinks in a couple minutes, and you're like, "What happened? Oh, my cup's still full of ice."
Yeah. So yeah, that's just boba. Yeah, there's nothing too special about boba really. There's no like there's no such thing as gourmet boba. If there is, this is BS. Never go to a place that calls themselves gourmet boba. You're just gonna get ripped off plainly. Um, so yeah, boba is nothing too special. It's just a drink that you get once in a while, once if you feel like it. The next one I want to talk about is so this one's about poke, and the reason why I want to talk about this is because recently I went to a Japanese market and I bought some stuff, and I also happened to buy kind of like those pre-boxed, not pre-boxed, but like they have this like area where they make stuff, like make food, and then they box it and then they put it on the in front of them in order for you to choose, right? A lot of groceries have this, especially like the sushi stuff. And so the Japanese market was no exception in that case. And I bought what was called like a rainbow spicy rainbow poke ball, right? It was not a poke ball. It wasn't even close, but it did have like the quote unquote aspects of poke ball, which was like raw tuna or marinated quote unquote raw tuna and salmon, and a few other sides. And it was like $14, and I thought it was a good deal. And when I told you about it, you were like, "Hold up, that ain't a good deal."
Yeah, that. Well, I mean, I understand it was expensive because it is seafood, like fish, but that from the picture you showed me, that was a little. It was a little steep of
Yeah.
a price.
Um, and you mentioned that you can get a lot more in terms of just like value for the same price at a poke place.
Oh yeah, definitely. I used to go there all the time when I lived in that area. I used to go, honestly, at least maybe once a month, because it is still kind of expensive, and I don't crave poke that often. But when I do, I'd always go there,
Mm-hmm.
just because of the value you can get. So, what I would get, it was like, I want to say like maybe 15 something, close to $16, but you get, your base, which is like rice, brown rice, or like a salad usually. That's what they had. This place I went to. And so you get, I'd just get regular white rice. I despise brown rice. It's shouldn't be a thing. And then they have a small, medium, or large portion. I always get large because I go for lunch after like class, so I'd be like really hungry. So I get the large, and it comes with 5 scoops, which is basically like a medium-sized ice cream scooper they use.
Mm-hmm.
And so putting 5 scoops is quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I'd get, salmon and shrimp. And then for the sides, it's basically any sides that they offer. Like it's not like the only one that was like, oh, you have to pay extra was avocado for some
Mm-hmm.
reason. So I'd get a scoop of avocado, and then you get there's like maybe 20, 25 different sides and stuff, so you could just load it however you like, and then all the different sauces. There's probably like a dozen different sauces, and you could be like, oh, I want spicy mayo, oh, I want medium spicy sauce, oh, I want eel sauce, oh, I want this sauce, and they'll put it because it comes with the price, I guess you could say. So I'd get like maybe 10 toppings and like four different sauces in that bowl, and that thing was like loaded, and it was like $16, I want to say, back then.
Yeah. When's the last time you've been to that place?
uh Probably a couple years ago,
If it was a
at least.
couple of years ago, I want to say it's probably either one, way more expensive now, like probably closer to 20 something, or they just don't offer that much for what you get now.
They probably just upped the price, most likely, just because. Yeah, they would probably up the price. But they also did have a good deal for a long ass time. It was buy one, because they also sold sushi.
Mm-hmm.
So you could buy one and get one for 50% off.
Mm.
So that was really good. And they didn't do just like California roll. They had like, the eel avocado roll or the rainbow roll. They had like some of the good rolls too. So I thought that was a pretty good deal.
I think honestly, if for some weird reason, right, they were to keep the prices like everything's the same from as when the last time you visited a couple years ago, right? I feel like that would be far more value than going to like an all-you-can-eat sushi place.
Oh yeah, probably, because I don't think I could eat that many rolls anymore.
Yeah, we're getting older. We can't eat that much anymore. We can't, quote unquote, beat the system.
We could if we just got sushi and not rolls.
Yeah,
But other than that, yeah, I don't think all you can eat's worth it anymore.
not anymore. Yeah. Gosh, I've been to the place that you've been once because we also kind of lived nearby when we were younger. And I've only been there once, and I legitimately do not remember what I got there because it was just good, and I wasn't really amazed by it during that time because during that time I was more of the all-you-can-eat sushi person, you know.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and even then it didn't make an impression because I was more of a meat guy. I was like steak or bust type dude. Um, Not that it had
Yeah.
any like actual influence in my judging for that place, but it was just like that's just how it was.
Yeah, well, you didn't really care for seafood that much.
Yeah, I didn't care about seafood until more recently when you introduced me to like California Fish Grill, I would say.
And that's very recent. So
Yeah. So maybe we'll hit up that place one more time if it's still there.
I drove by the other week. It's still there.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should visit then. What else? Um, this seems like a short episode just because a lot of things were happening recently and we haven't been able to do as many things together as much as we would like. But that's just how life is, you know. We can't. I mean, it's kind of almost, I guess, almost in a way, like kind of surprising that we've managed to have episode up to this point where we have had an episode where it was like a long length episode because we had so much to talk about. And so, looking back at it, it definitely makes me want to, go out and try more food together, or have like new experiences. I think we still need to work on. There was a thing that we were working on, but we ended up dropping, or not dropping. We just didn't. We haven't gotten to the final part yet, which was we were supposed to review chicken tenders. You remember?
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
We did too, and we're like, "Where's the third one? We need to find the third one." But then so the thing is, the way we do things is that we don't buy all three brands like we've done for like pizza and I'm forgetting what the other one was.
It was just pizza.
Oh yeah, just pizza, right? Um, what we do is we buy them like the times we meet up. So we don't buy all three. We buy one, and then we have that one at like 1 week, and then the next time we have one at another week. And so the chicken tenders, we got through two, and then the third one, there was supposed to be a third one, but apparently, I guess they just don't show up in stores anymore after I looked online. So literally, I still don't know which third one we should get for in terms of brand. So if you guys have any suggestions for like a chicken tender brand, feel free to tell us. Because I think the ones we got was Foster Farms and...
Tyson.
What was the other one?
Tyson?
Tyson, yeah. The third one was supposed to be something like, I think it was called Progressive, but like I don't see that in stores anymore, and I think they also had issues with their quality, so like that's why they're not in stores. So, well, maybe next episode for Meal for Two will be about the chicken tenders. So, yeah. Literally, it's been like 2 months, I think.
It's been a while, yeah.
So, yeah.
I was also gonna make a random bad joke.
Go ahead.
You said the chicken brand was named Progressive, you thought, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, don't they sell insurance?
Maybe they sell you the bad chicken, so you have to go through their insurance when you go for the emergency room. Maybe that was their plan all along, That'd be so weird, but that would also make so much sense at the same time. That'd be like a conspiracy theory that would make so much sense, Oh my god. It's as if State Farm was or not, was it something? Foster Farms was like a subsidiary of State Farm, so it's like Jake from State Farm could collect insurance money from you when you get to the emergency room by eating their bad chicken tenders. Imagine that, dude. That'd be so crazy.
One crazy theory right there.
Oh, who knows? Maybe I'll get the police knocking on my door one day.
You'll get a text from the FBI. Stay right where you are.
You'll never get me alive. Never. Anyways, today was an extremely short episode. It's just the way it is, but hopefully, for the future episodes, we continue to have. I mean, even then, it's kind of a self-imposed, short episode. Really, it's not even short, honestly. It's just what we're used to, I guess. So, we're not professionals. I'm not gonna really hold any worries about, our episode length too much, but I guess I'll just end it here for now. So I'm Jin.
And I'm Saki.
This is The Casuals, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.